Welcome to another video from theplayersaid.com. My name is Grant. Today I'm kind of doing a unique video a little bit. I don't know that I've ever really done anything like this. After really just playing, I've literally just played this game. Just finished my 7th turn. I'm starting my 7th turn. The game is Phantom Fury. You can see the little subtitle, Iraq, November 9th, 2004. The second battle for Fallujah. This is a 2nd edition copy. The game is published by Nuts Publishing, designed by Laurent Closier. And you'll notice that name, Nicholas Roblin. He did the board for the English Civil War game. No Enemies, blankety blank. I can't remember. But he's a really good artist, and he helped put this board together. But 2nd edition copy of Phantom Fury, which is a very cool solitaire game. As I mentioned, focus on the second battle of Fallujah in 2004. Big map. That's the first thing, man. You can see this is a big board, and I don't even have all of it. I'm gonna lift up. So that's a look at the entire board. I'm not really going to be able to get that into a shot when I do get into doing a playthrough and some mechanics instruction. So I'll address that at that point. But I wanted to do this first impressions raw video, just talking a little bit about what I'm really enjoying about this game, what is unique and interesting, kind of how it works, just a little bit, and then ultimately what your goal is. So what I would say is, once again, I've completed 6 full turns. I currently have 12 victory points. And if you can see the board, and it's a little bit hard to see, these areas where you can see these green markers, these are activated zones. So these are zones that we as the United States Marine Corps and its different troops, along with the Iraqi security forces, are trying to clear. You're trying to clear from the bottom of the map, which is the north side of the city, to the south side of the city, and kind of clear this area of insurgents, resistance, and make it safe. There are IEDs everywhere. They will pop up via certain rolls on attack or movement numbers. They're snipers. Really dangerous environment, and it is literally block to block, street to street. You can see these are the streets fighting. Very brutal, very systematic. The Marine Corps is trying to kind of advance along an axis of advance that is very secure, meaning you don't want to leave. I'll give you an example. This area here, which is area number 14, there are no USMC units that are in there, nor Iraqi units. They do have units on both of their flanks, to the left and to the right. They have one in the kind of the southwest area over here, and here to the east of this block. But this one is unsecure. So there's a guerrilla unit there, an insurgent that's hiding out. If you're not careful and you end a turn where you have controlled areas adjacent to insurgent areas or activated areas or zones, they're going to infiltrate into there. So you're going to lose ground. So you really truly have to be very cautious about how you move together. You move up together, where you can leave a gap, because it will be filled in. There's no way to get away from that. So that's a very interesting part of this game that I've enjoyed significantly. I will show you. So here's an example of an Iraqi unit. This is just one of their security forces. Not a great combat factor here. It only has a 4. It does have a reduced side. When it gets hit, it's going to go down to a 3. But most of your Marines are 6s, 5s, and some 4s, but most of your frontline guys are your 6s and your 5s. So you have to use these security forces, and you only have 3 of them. First off, they're the only units that can enter into this mosque, which is area number 26. And you do need to control that area in order to win the game and continue moving to the south side of the board. So I had to move him in there with an underpowered 4. You can see he has a 4. He was supported by my M1 Abrams here. We also, some of the Marines were taking shots at the suspect markers. Here's an example of what a suspect marker looks like. It is intel, old or out of date or what have you, intel that there are insurgent units in this sector. And what's going to happen is when you move into there and activate that zone, you're going to roll. And let me show you here. You're going to activate the suspect markers. If it's a fortified zone, you're going to roll on this one. If it's a normal zone, which the green ones are normal, you're going to roll on this one. Anything basically 1 to 5 in a normal zone is a dummy. That means that suspect marker is just going to be removed and it was a false report, or it was a good report 2 hours ago and they kind of moved out. In the fortified zones, it's a little harder. So fortified zones, here are these red areas. It says activated strong points. That's a fortified zone. Those are tougher. They're harder to kill the units in there, harder to get into. You're going to take more defensive fire, those kinds of things. Now, you'll notice I have 2 of those areas there, and they are clear, which is very good for me. I did that at the beginning during the support phase. And I'm going to go ahead and move the camera over here just so you can get a look. This is kind of the support area right here. You have unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, Dragon Eye is what it's called. You have a couple of AH-1W attack choppers, Super Cobras. And then you also have one big gun. You have a Hornet attack. You're going to potentially decide to use these in certain situations. The UAVs, and I actually need to move that down. It's at a 2. The UAV is going to uncover suspect markers and kind of alert you to what's there. Very valuable, particularly in some of these areas that have 2 or 3 suspect markers in them. Most of them only have 2, but certain blocks are going to have 3. The the Hornet is literally going to blow up buildings and create rubble zones. And then the attack choppers are going to wipe out either insurgent units or a combination of insurgents and these suspect markers. Now, I mentioned these 2 zones. I literally just flew those Cobras in there because I don't want to have to fight those guys. And I think it was a 4 combat factor martyr. Martyrs are really terrible because they never retreat. If you kill them, they will go away. But if you don't kill them, they will not leave, and you're never going to control that area. Plus, it's going to give them modifiers to their combat rolls, which are bad for you because that's how they're going to hit you. And I also had, I think it was a 3 Gorilla over here. So I called those choppers in to clear these out. Now, I need to move these units up to control them. I won't have to fight anybody, but the problem I'm going to have, I need to move those up to take them. I then need to move this guy up and control this block. Now, I'm fortunate this building has been cleared. I can move up to the roof and then jump from building to building over to their roof. It is currently vacant. And then I can attack down the stairs with a -1 modifier because you want to roll low in this game. And then I can attack down, and if I win this assault, I can then carry on. It's called flooding. You can then carry it on and wipe that out. So that would be my hope during the movement phase, to get over there and initiate an assault. I'm also going to move this guy up into here once he's vacated, just to kind of backfill. And then this guy is going to assault here. That's another fortified position. That's going to be very bad. And these guys are going to potentially try to move up. But this is really dicey. what I wanted to help you understand is the importance of using that support. The other thing that I really do enjoy about this game is the reinforcements aspect. You're going to get a couple of units, up to 3, from your reserves. Any more, you can see there's 3 others and they're not really great. I can take those, but I'm going to lose VPs every time I accept them. I will not lose VPs if I take the Iraqi security forces. So I've deployed 2 of those on the board. I probably should deploy another one over here, and I actually think I'm going to, because this is currently my reinforcements phase right after the support phase. Let me just double check. Yes. So here's a look at the handy dandy sequence of play. I did the support phase and called in a UAV to uncover these. Then I attacked them with the Cobras. Then I'm going to go to the reinforcements. I'm going to go ahead and pull this Iraqi security force up. I'm going to put him here because I want to move into here. I want to move into here to assist in kind of bolstering our lines in case this assault doesn't go well, because I don't want them to infiltrate back into some of those. So I'm going to backfill there. And you'll kind of realize that that concept of laddering and backfilling is very important. Now, I'm starting to run out of reinforcements, but I definitely need that because I need to get these right now. One of the really cool things about the game, another thing that I really, really do enjoy, is the concept of events. So here's a look at the Marine squads. If they get, that's insurgents. That's by Iraqi units. So here you can see at the top is a Marine squad. If you roll a 0, you're going to hit because that's under your combat factor. A 0 on the die is a 0, not a 10. It's a 10-sided die. So you're going to do damage to the unit you're attacking, but then you're going to roll separately on this event chart. And you can see the top 2 are really, really good. You get a Phantom Fury, which is a marker. This marker is going to give you combat advantages, and it's actually going to last for 2 turns. You can see it has a 30-minute kind of counter on that side, and then on the other side it has 15. So you're going to place that in the zone where your unit just hit that event, and then you're going to get bonuses in that area for the duration. The other thing is the heroes. So that assaulting Marine unit, first they're going to get a Silver Star, which is going to give them a +1 combat factor. Very, very powerful. And then they can get a Congressional, I think it's a Medal of Honor, which will give them an additional, or a total of a +2. I'm telling you, if you can get a Marine with a +2 on it, giving them an 8 combat factor, you're always trying to roll less than or equal to. I just rolled a 1. There, you didn't see it. So I would hit, but man, I'm going to hit on an 8. That's 80% hit. And that unit is going to do some real, real damage. Those are just a couple of thoughts. I'm very much enjoying this. It sometimes devolves into a dice fest, which is okay. When I assault with my Marines against an insurgent unit, so here I'm going to go ahead and just move him up. He's on the roof. I'm going to assault. You can see my combat factor. This guy's been reduced. He took some damage, and I'm going to lose VP for that. He's a 5, and he is going to be attacking up the stairs, so he's going to gain a +1 die roll modifier. And remember, you're trying to roll low. It's the only bad thing about this game. I never do well in games that I'm trying to roll low. But I'm a 5 -1 combat factor. Wait, it's a +1 DRM. So I'm going to roll, hey, I rolled a 2, +1 is a 3. I'm still under my combat factor. I succeeded at that assault. Now, and I do normally roll these together. Then the insurgent unit is going to have to attack back. They're going to roll a die. He rolled a 1. His combat factor is a 1. That would be very, very bad. I would have killed him, but he's also going to reduce me, and ultimately when I'm reduced, I'm going to be killed. So that was not a good result there for me. I'm going to lose 5 victory points, but gain 1. That'll be a -4. That's not a good situation. Plus, I'm losing a unit. And that's the risky thing in using guys that are reduced. The other very cool thing about this game is they take into account these combat support teams called CAT, C-A-A-T. These are assumed to have anti-tank weapons, explosives. They actually come with an ammunition counter. There you can see that. If you use this in a fire attack, there's 2 different types of attack. Fire attack is shooting from one block to another block. You can't shoot into a block that has Marines, nor can you shoot into units that are in your space. So you're trying to shoot across the street and attack here. If you burn up one of those ammunition and you rotate it, so now he's down to a 2, that's going to give you a +2 modifier or +2 combat factor modifier. And that ultimately will help you. Now, where did I pull this from? Crap, I'll have to look back at my video. Dang it. Was it here? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. I'll fix it. But those kind of things are very, very cool because they can help your guys be more effective and kind of do some more damage to the insurgents. So very much enjoy that. I very much enjoy. I think the rules are pretty decent and the player aids are pretty good. After now doing it for 6 turns, I've got it down for the most part, but I'm still having to refer to the rule book occasionally and back to the play aid just on some of the finer points. But they do have 2 nice play aids. I also noticed on Board Game Geek, somebody did like a full sheet with all modifiers and processes, so that was kind of very, very helpful. Yeah, there you have it. I don't know if this video was helpful. I am going to do a playthrough. I don't know that I'm going to do a full playthrough, only because this is a 2 to 2.5 hour game. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do a full playthrough, but I definitely will do a couple, 3, maybe 4 rounds, and then I'll give my final thoughts once I do that. But I just wanted to share this with you because I've really enjoyed it. I pushed counters around for about an hour the other day, and then I set it back up and started again. And now I've been playing for about an hour and a half, and I'm through 6 turns, just learning and feeling my way, but very much enjoying it. The other thing I really like about the game is you have a lot of historical variants. You can add more Abrams tanks. You can add civilian counters to the mix. You can add other fire markers that help or hinder the enemy. So lots of options and good things, and just a lot to like here. So once again, Phantom Fury 2nd edition from Nuts Publishing. Very much enjoying it. I'll continue to play it, but definitely keep your eyes out in the future for at least somewhat of a playthrough, 3-4 turns maybe, and then a final review. But this is a great game. I very much enjoyed it, and I would encourage anyone to go out and get it, particularly because this is brand new. So thanks for watching. I've been Grant for the Player's Aid.